Hello students, your instructor here, John Mandela with another screencast. This one about using some 3D tools. Now there are 3D tools in Photoshop and Illustrator. This one we're going to be focusing on Illustrator, and there's three different types of ways that you can create 3D shapes in Illustrator. Now please understand these are fake 3D shapes. This is more of an effect applied to something. It's not an actual 3D model. Anyway, let's get going. So I'm going to take this first one here, just this kind of like tan colored circle. If I go to Effect, 3D, I'm going to go to Revolve, and I'll see this 3D Revolve Options dialog box. And if I just click Preview at this point right now, what you can see is I get almost like a donut shape. In other words, taking that circle and wrap that circle around a ring, imagine, you know what I mean? What's cool though is you can like manipulate this by dragging on it. You can see what it looks like at different angles. So maybe that's something that you want. Now you'll notice that donut has kind of a almost like no middle. We can offset that, so I can go like this to the offset and adjust it out a little bit and have it look more like a ring like that, or a little bit less, so it's more donut-like. And again, I can manipulate this. I can see how it looks at different angles and things like this. I'm going to go with something more like that right there. Now I can also manipulate the lighting on this. So if I go here and move this one up, this is the lighting down here. If you don't see this, you see more options, click on that to open it up. I can add new lights by clicking on the new symbol down here, manipulating these, things like that. All different kinds of lighting effects going on. So you can really make your donut exactly what you want it. You can delete them if you don't like them, and just go back to the original one. So that's how you can change your donut. You get a number of different intensities here and things like that. Now, let's hit OK on that. And let's go to, this is Revolve. Let's go to this one now. Effect, 3D, Extrude and Bevel. And again, very similar dialog box. I'm going to click Preview. And again, I'm going to manipulate this at an angle. Let's say something like this. Then I'm going to set the extrude depth higher. Let's say around that. And then this is more like a perfect orthogonal kind of 3D representation. It doesn't exist in real perspective, so we can make it look more real by adjusting the perspective on it quite a bit. And you can see those black lines are it redrawing the geometry. Something like this, and maybe extrude it a little bit less far. Rotate it like this. And again, I could adjust the lighting and things like that. I might add one right over here. So get different effects going on there. What's really nice, so I'm going to hit OK on this. What's really nice is, as you can see here, this blue line, this is the actual path. This is just the effect applied to the path, the 3D look. What I'm going to do with my path here is go to Object, Path, Split into Grid, and I'm going to go 2 columns, 2 rows, and click OK. And it appears that my 3D went away. That's okay. It's going to Effect, Apply, Extrude, and Bevel, because whatever the last settings were that I applied. Click on that. See, now it looks like this. This whole system going on of shapes like that. But it looks like they're kind of competing for each other. If I want them to look like they're all one shape so they don't overlap, undo that. Go to the Pathfinder here and hit Unite. Then apply Extrude and Bevel, and there we go. Again, if I want to adjust the angle, I go to my Appearance panel, which if you don't see it there, it's going to be under your Window menu. And I can click on this. I can adjust the settings again, however I want to adjust them. Alright, so this is Extrude and Bevel. This one over here, I'm going to go through really quickly. I'm going to zoom in. This is just a circle like the last one. What I want to do now is draw a perfectly straight line, and I'll line that line up in the middle. Then I'm going to go to the Pathfinder panel, and I'm going to divide it. Grab my white arrow, select this one, and cut that out. Now that I've got this, I'm going to go to Effect, 3D, Revolve. I click Preview on this. You'll see it's made a sphere, a perfect sphere for me. It's kind of weird that to make a sphere you need to make a semicircle first, but I'm going to get all the different options. I can shade it however I want and things like that. So that is how you can make some 3D shapes in Illustrator. You can even use it with text, so I encourage you to experiment with that. What I want you to do is create really cool 3D shapes. That's all I got. Goodbye.